We trimmed the tree up in the front yard a couple years ago, and it's maple. Had it sawed up into lumber, and I made a bar top out of it. Made a bar for my son, and now they have 2 dogs, which is not a big deal, but they each have their own dog bowls. So that takes up a little room in the kitchen. So instead of having 2 sets of dog bowls, we're going to try to make one that'll take care of both of them. Each dog can eat on the outside and have the water in the middle. And they're working on it now to get them to getting closer together. So this should be finished about the time that they need it. So let's see what we can do.
This wood had some milling defects in it, so the first thing I did was put it through the planer, get everything the same thickness, and get it ready to use. After I had everything cut to shape, it was time to cut out the circles where the dog bowls went. I did try this on a scrap piece first, just to make sure I had the right diameter circle that I was cutting. The planer left a few rough marks, so naturally the next step, sand everything down, get it nice and smooth, get it ready for the stain. There was a little bit of bark left on the live edge, but it sanded off quite nicely. To fasten the legs, I didn't want to screw down from the top side into them, and I didn't really have a lot of room to put a cleat beside it, so I thought I would put it together with some dowel pins. I didn't have a live center to center up where the dowel pins go, so piece of paper folded over, it worked pretty good. First I marked where they went in the sides, and then I marked where the dowel pins go in the bottom of the top side. I didn't want to drill any deeper than the dowel pins would go, so that's why there's a piece of tape on the drill bit, so I know not to go too deep. I put some glue down 3 or 4 sides of the holes on both pieces. And before I cut the dowel pins, or before I put them in, I did sand a couple sides flat to give the glue in the hole a place to get a hold and get it out of there. I also fastened the braces, one in front and one in the back, with some dowel pins as well. After that glue set for 24 hours, it sanded off with the palm sander, and it was ready for the stain. The bar top that we made out of the same wood was stained a ebony color, so we wanted it to match. That's the stain that we used for this project as well. I was going to use a polyurethane to coat everything with, which would have worked pretty good, but I decided to go with epoxy instead. It's a little more durable finish, and that way the collar tags wouldn't scratch into it quite as bad. Just in case Winnie and Ralphie got mixed up on which bowl they were supposed to use, we went ahead and put their names at the bottom. between each coat of epoxy, you always have to sand everything down and get the rough edges off. That gives the new epoxy something to grab a hold of. And then the next coat of epoxy will seal in the names, the lettering, and after you're finished, you really don't feel that the stencil is there at all. After it's had a couple days to cure, it's ready to be put in service. So this is the finished product. The wood looks really nice with that stain on it. If you happen to have an extra teddy bear lying around, this is a good place for it. And the true test is when it gets home, they went right to it and didn't have any trouble at all. It's just the right height for these particular dogs. This is 11¼ inches tall. We hope you enjoyed watching the video. Hopefully you might get an idea of a project that you might like to do. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please take the time to do so and hit that bell. That'll let you know when the next project is up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.